Good Friday evening to you guys. Good to see you on this lovely Friday. That Fuzz and 518 show with you as always on Friday evenings. Good to see you guys. Chat. Make sure you guys are nice and active tonight because we got a pretty good banger for you tonight. We're going to be joined by a nice little panel tonight. We're going to talk some music stuff tonight. We got Joe from Murderers Row, Paul from China White, Rich from, he's just a guitarist extraordinaire. Carl's going to be on a little bit later. And of course, none other than Mr. Bo Effner from On Call with Bo Effner. But first we got to take care of the business here first. Do some plugs and some shout outs for you guys. Of course, nippertown.com, our good friends over there, Jim and all the fine folks over there at nippertown.com, bringing you pretty much everything 518. Bringing much everything 518, from music to restaurants to local attractions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nippertown's got it all. You want 518 stuff, that's where you go. Nippertown.com. You can also find them on Nippertown you can find them on Facebook and Insta and Twitter at Nippertown. MyronLawson.com, of course, our resident artist and really good friend of the show. MyronLawson.com, check him out. Christopher James Antiques and Collectibles up in Lee, Massachusetts. They also have a Facebook page. Check them out. Jess over at Nautiskulls on her Facebook page. Acoustic, my nephews, their acoustic duo. Of course, Lola Montez is on OnlyFans and Suicide Girls. You can check her out over there. Our buddy Dan, his page, Heavy Metal A Way of Life. Head over to that. It's a Facebook page. Go check that out, guys. It's a really cool page. Gets you a lot of stuff on there. Nick Stamas gives guitar lessons. If you guys want guitar lessons from Nick Stamas, you can check him out. Facebook and Instagram, Nick Stamas. Nick Stamas27 at gmail.com to get a hold of him. Now, we're going to do something new, guys, and this is really exciting to me. This was brought to me by a really, really, really good friend of mine and just all-around good person. Now, behind me, you guys know I have this backdrop with, guitars I have no idea how to play. Panties that have been donated by some of our viewers / listeners. Couple of cool posters up there. Some artwork by Myron. The Sean McFerrin Derby from the benefit show. I got cool stuff. I've never named the wall before. I guess it was like that Fuzz and 518 show wall. I guess we're going to call it. But it's got a new name now. We're going to call this now, this whole thing back here is now going to be dedicated to my friend Jim Wertman. It's going to be Wertman's Wall. Over here in this corner right here, we're going to call this the metal corner. And right now it features two of Myron's pieces because I had to kind of set it up and get it checked out. But, why wouldn't we want to feature some of Myron's pieces? I'm too excited to talk tonight, guys. These two are two of Myron's pieces that he did for me. That's Lisa and somebody getting their heart ripped out. Either way. So what we're going to do is, you guys know, those of you who don't know, Jim takes some amazing, amazing photos. Like a lot of it's band stuff. He also has a lot of his stuff on Facebook that he does scenes with, landscape, stuff like that. But what he does with these pictures is almost magical. He takes amazing photos to begin with, but then in his post, he does some real cool shit with it. So what Jim said to me was, he's like, hey, listen, why don't we do this? We're going to have prints made up of some of Jim's stuff. Now, you guys can also get this stuff from Jim himself. If you go on his Facebook page and let's say you're in a band and you see like a shot that you guys like, message him. He will definitely get you the prints. He's going to sell you the prints. Why would you not want to do that? So what we're going to do is we're going to feature a couple of prints of Jim's choosing on the metal, in the metal corner on the easel back here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, during a month or whatever, we will have like spaces that you guys can put money down on an auction, or not even an auction. I guess it's a raffle. Spin the wheel is like a raffle, right? Probably. Yeah, I think it's called a raffle, maybe. Whatever. Well, spin the wheel, pick a name, boom, you're the winner. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll do like, I don't know, however many dollars per slot or whatever. I guess Jim and Alex talked about that, but that's what we'll do. We'll kind of like raffle these things off. And then, the following month we'll have two more up there. maybe you guys will see your band featured up there, and we'll talk about the pictures and who's in the pictures, where they were taken, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for sure, stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a new thing that we're doing here. So back here, Workman's Wall. Star, I'm sorry there's panties on Workman's Wall, but those are, I claim those, so those are mine. That has nothing to do with Jim. Anyways, guys, big news again. Sunday, November 1st, 12 to 8 p.m., 8 full hours of fun, guys. The telethon to save Chrome is on. You guys know there is no place like Chrome. The No Place Like Chrome telethon. God, I can't even speak tonight. This is going to be a long night, guys. And boys, I see you guys in the lobby. I'll bring you in just a couple minutes. I just got to finish this all this lovely stuff here, and then we'll get moving. By the way, Jim's website. Jim actually has a website too. I forgot that. LeftHandCreations666.com. That's Left Hand Creations and all numbers 6 and 6. LeftHandCreations666.com. You can check out his work. So back to the telethon. Now, here's what I know so far about the telethon. I mean, I'm lying. I know a lot more. I'm just sort of secrecy. Darla told me that if I said anything that I'm not supposed to reveal, that she's going to cut off certain parts of me that I really don't want to go missing. So I have to kind of keep it chill. So this telethon, there's going to be music, there's going to be testimonials, there's going to be a lot of, talking, chit chat back and forth, stuff like that. There's, of course, going to be hijinks. I wouldn't be involved if there wasn't. Prizes, raffles. I've also heard there's going to be some super famous people involved in this. And when I say super famous, I'm not kidding. They're super famous people. You guys got to tune in for this. 12 to 8 p.m. Sunday, November 1st. It's going to be on the Chrome website. I'm also going to put it on 518 Live Concerts. I'm going to put it on That Fuzzin' 518 Shows page, my personal page. It's going to be shared probably thousands of other places. But this is the last ditch effort to save Chrome, guys. It is up for sale right now. It's one of the coolest venues we got in the area. We definitely don't want to lose it. So make sure you guys tune in Sunday, November 1st, 12 to 8. You guys don't want to miss this. It's I've been involved in a lot of stuff with it. It's uber cool. So make sure you guys tune in. Again, Sunday, November 1st, 12 to 8 p.m. So that being said, did I get everything I needed to do? Oh, I didn't even start talking about my stuff. See, I'm so concerned with everybody else. I didn't start talking about my stuff. So there is That Fuzzin' 518 Show merch now available. It's on my Facebook page, on the show's Facebook page. I believe it's at 518 Fuzzy. But you guys can just search That Fuzzin' 518 Show and you'll find it. It's in a folder by itself. There's a button at the top. It says shop now or something like that. Hit that. That goes straight to PayPal. And let me know when you guys order stuff, let me know which ones you're ordering so I don't send you guys all the wrong stuff. You guys will get some extras when you order too. So, if you feel the need to do that. And also, I'm not shy. You guys can just straight hand me money. If you guys want to go to that, it's paypal.me/thatfuzzing518 show. And just, I don't know, throw me money, $1, $2, $2,000 would be pretty sweet. Yeah. So, all right, enough of my bullshit. I just get rid of these so I don't start doing stuff again. We'll start bringing the boys in to the show. There's one. There's two. There's three. Gentlemen, good evening. Very nice to see you guys.
Hello.
Who's that? I hear you, Joe. Bo, he's there? I think Bo's frozen. I think Rich is frozen too. Huh.
So unmute us.
Sweet.
I think I got Bo now. You there, Bo? Yeah, he's moving. He's moving. Just waiting on Rich. Rich, where you at, bro?
He's trying.
Yeah, I can see you.
I'm here. Can you?
I can hear you guys. I just can't see you.
I'm not frozen.
No, there you are. I see you moving.
Nope.
All right, we got Bo.
I just don't move around a lot.
You're going to stay very statuesque like the statue of David. I got you, bro. That's cool.
I'm hiding.
So, while we're waiting for Rich to get the camera up and running there, we got Joe. Joe, of course, is the one of the axemen from Murderers Row, one of my personal favorites. Rich, and I believe there's a couple of special guests with Rich. Oh, something's going there. Either way, we got Paul from China White's going to join us fairly soon, and they're gone. I'll bring him back in as soon as they're ready. And my buddy Carl, who's a rock and metal, quite the rock and metal
gone.
enthusiast. Yeah, they are gone, but they're still in the lobby, so I'm pretty sure they got to connect before I can add them. Okay, so they're still in the lobby. So once they get their stuff figured out, we will bring them right back in. And now I'm getting a message from Rich. Let's see. Nope, still no Rich. So either way, guys, like I said, I appreciate you guys joining the show. We're just gonna sit and bullshit for a little while about music. What I mean, we might as well just jump right into it. Now that I've introduced you guys, Bo, let me do this. Let me have you. You have stuff coming up. Let me have you do that because I know you're with us for only a short time. Let me have you. Let me know what's going on with you guys right now, and.
Yep. Cool, man. I got an episode for On Call. My show's gonna premiere tonight, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and featuring the band Avant. That's going to be an exclusive release of their new music video called "Darkness" off their EP Behind the Mask. These guys are rocking. They're hitting the ground rolling, and a lot of big things coming from these guys. So make sure if you guys are watching tonight, tune in. On Call with Bo Effner.
11 p.m., sir. I will
also, more dying too. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. We're in the studio now. We got some music's going to be coming out here pretty soon from Born Near out also for that.
Excellent, man. Very cool. I will definitely tune in 11. Chat, make sure you guys check that out. On Call with Bo Effner. Check out Bo's stuff tonight at 11 p.m. You guys will make sure you guys tune in and check that out. How about you, Joe? What's up with you, bro?
Working on a new album. We're about halfway through. Some new music. That's pretty much what's been going on with us. I mean, not a lot of show options out there.
Yeah, that's true. And then, I mean, that leads me, I'm glad you said that. That was an excellent segue, my friend. Talking about live music and the effects of COVID on it. I mean, obviously, it's, what else can be said? It's basically driven that live music venue industry directly into the ground. I see some people are trying to, before October 1st, people were kind of trying to climb their way out of the cellar and do what they could to make money, but with outside patios and social distancing and limited seating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But here we are. Now here we are, and after October 1st, it kind of now they said no music streaming. No, it's tough. Incidental music, like
wait,
can't
no music
advertise.
Streaming? Is that what you said? No music streaming?
I think they said something about you can't stream, or I'd have to look it up to, I can't remember exactly what the wording was, but I'm pretty sure there's restrictions on streaming, or they don't want you streaming. Bo, do you have any insight into that, sir?
Me, I haven't heard anything about it.
So the only insight I have into it is on my Facebook page for the show. They've actually asked me to start being a monetary partner, kind of like YouTube.
Okay,
so
cool.
They have not restricted me as far as any of my live music streams or episodes. I mean, every one of my episodes features a band, so
right, yeah.
I'm not sure if they're just going after personal accounts, but I did hear about the October no streaming live music, so they haven't stopped me. They're actually trying to make money off me. So, but we always our shows are always free.
That's actually not a bad thing, though. I mean,
I got a little delay.
Yeah, it was lagging a little bit. So, Joe, how has it affected your band?
I I mean, he's made us pretty bored. I mean, we had a lot of stuff booked that we were supposed to be doing, straight through till September, I believe. Yeah, we're supposed to be doing a ton of stuff. Obviously, that's all out the window. Nobody's giving us a straight answer when anything's going to start back up, so we're just kind of sitting around.
Yeah, I think that's up in the air, and it's going to remain up in the air for quite a while. I don't see a foreseeable end to this thing. I mean, we got to hope, anyways. You know what I mean? People, a lot of people want. I mean, I see both sides of it. I see where they're coming from, where they don't want people to get infected and close together and all that other nonsense. But on the other end of it, like, I mean, there's a lot of club owners that are just dying out here with this thing. You know, I mean, it's sad. It's really sad. And what's the future going to be? What's the future going forward with shows? I mean, is it going to be like 25% capacity? Is it going to be you have to social distance, like little squares on the floor, 6 feet apart? Like,
that's the thing I don't understand is like it seems like they've actually targeted music venues. I mean, there's no difference fundamentally between a music venue and a bar. So why can't they just section off party sections for shows?
Right.
One would think anyway. Yeah, one would think anyways. Let me Carl's here. Let me bring Carl in here. What's up, my dude?
How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm in the shop. If you look behind me, there's a 4-wheeler and some other shit going on. So
I bet you that once they do start opening back up, it'll be like the football stadium. Different cities.
I mean, there's things that they can do. I went to a couple of shows. They had country shows over at like Powers Park in Troy. You know, and at the outdoor, and they just basically spray painted like 12-foot diameter.
I don't know though. If anything, it's a good time for the bands out there to get together and record some new music.
That's a thing I'm gonna get into a little bit later with as far as musicians and stuff like that. But there's bands that are starting to lose. All right, we got Paul and Rich. This is gonna get a little hectic here, so we're gonna bring them in. Rich has a couple guests with him, so we'll bring them into the stream and we'll see what happens. There's Paul. Good to see you, my friend. And we got Rich. Let's see who Rich has got with him. What's up, boys? Good to see you guys.
Howdy, fellas.
Yeah. Hey, where the hell are you guys?
That's something I haven't seen in a while. A stage.
Now listen, I thought I had the coolest backdrop. You guys suck, man. You had to outdo me, didn't you?
We totally did that on purpose. We wanted to make sure we had all that stuff in the background.
You know what? That's cool, man. It's cool. I'll play second. I'll play second fiddle to you guys for sure.
So that's a little bit of a tease right there, though.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Who wants to come and jam?
Yeah, dude, you guys got the setup going right there. Looks like we were just discussing actually live music and the effects it has, on the effects that COVID had on it, and you guys seem to be sitting in some place that has live music sometimes, no?
Yeah, they do. Chrome, yeah, Chrome.
Yeah, that's right.
No place like Chrome, yeah.
That's true. So where did Rich go? There he is.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to zoom the camera in, but you can't do that.
That's all right. You guys look handsome from afar for sure. Even that Kavanaugh guy looks good in this frame.
Easy.
So, what are you guys doing there?
Rich? Well, I'm drinking.
We're pre-gaming.
Pre-gaming. I got you. Okay, so
spin the wheel game, and no, we're setting up some new shit. I found Wings, the drum riser from back there. Is in the back here somewhere.
Yep.
So remember we were trying to figure out what we were going to put the cameras up on?
Yes, sir.
Fucking drum riser.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Rich is referring to the telethon. We Rich and I have been working pretty close together, hand in hand. Oh shit, we lost Bo. I think he had to go anyways, didn't he? I think so. Either way, Rich and I have been working together. Rich more so. I think I've just been keeping him company more than that. But we've been working a lot on telethon stuff and getting this thing together. It's gonna be massive. I swear to God, dude, I have given nothing away. I swear to you. You can watch the replay. I didn't give nothing away, so it's going to be cool, though. It's definitely going to be cool, and the hard work is showing for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys have put a lot of effort into this. A lot. I mean, Port Ed Molly, the band that, Jason and I are in, we just came in for a couple hours and did some songs, and you guys, did the production and the amount of work that you guys had to do.
Just did.
That's what I mean. The amount of work you guys had to do, where we just walked in, played a few songs. We didn't have to do much.
These
you
two
guys
guys
did so
are the
much.
reason, Fuzz. All this shit that's down here is because of these two guys stayed with me for an entire week.
Because I have a truck.
Well, we're
Because
roadies.
Jason doesn't try.
Yeah, we're roadies. We're roadies for all the production work that you did. Okay. Well,
Listen, every little bit is a piece to the puzzle, and as long as we get that puzzle completed at the end, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets credit because everybody did a hell of a job on this for sure.
it's worth it. You
For
too.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Been here every freaking night for what, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it's been going on that for sure, man. So we've been talking music, guys. We were talking about like I said, music and the effects of COVID on live music and how it's affected. Now, obviously, Poor Dead Molly, and in the middle is guitarist extraordinaire there. How has it affected you guys? I asked these guys earlier. How has it affected you guys as far as bands go?
Well, I'll just go with the positive side of it. And I can only speak because the three of us are sitting right here. Jason sings for Port Ed Molly and Hairband Riot. I play in Port Ed Molly and on Civil Liberty Ridge. Well, the three of us got together and we've been writing some songs and we've been recording them because there's nothing else to do. So you'll see something coming from the three of us.
It's also having an effect. I've seen effects on musicians, some bands breaking up, other people being bored, picking up an instrument and starting to learn it, which is kind of cool. But I hate to see anybody break up because of this, but because of not being able to practice or not being able to get to their rehearsal space, they call it quits, and that's horrible. Carl, you as a fan of music, how has this affected you as far as not being able to see shows and stuff like that? I mean, that's weighs heavy also.
It's been pretty rough. A lot of cancellations, as you said. The shows I did see were outdoor. There were a couple of outdoor ones, mostly Powers Park shows. But what's really going to be bad is as we go into the colder weather, the outdoor option goes away. So now you're stuck with trying to do it in a venue, and that's just not going to happen. Again, I don't see why. To the point of, why they can't have a limited capacity rather than just cutting it out completely, because bars are pulling it off. Restaurants are kind of pulling it off. So if it has to do with people being in a building all together, there's ways around that. You can have a certain number of people, limited capacity, and still have a show versus not having anything at all, and watching it die. So
yeah, it's starting to feel like a little bit of a war on music here. It's getting a little ridiculous. I mean, I work at a bar, 5 days a week, and we're up and going. I mean, we can't do any shows, but it's still going.
They social distance at bars and restaurants, and they still keep them open. But the minute you introduce music, they assume it's going to be 40 or 50 people, elbow to elbow in front of a stage, which is the way it used to be. But now, there's ways around that. They could still do. I feel like there's a solution to it without letting it die, without just deleting it from the equation, kind of thing. And that's what's happening now. It's crazy.
Everyone can have a plastic bubble kind of thing going on.
Yeah, like right. Boy. Just rolling around the ground.
The Violent Femmes just did that. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. They did.
Paul, what about you, bud? What do you think?
Well, I haven't been out to see shows at all. I know Wendy was getting some Erotics were playing down at her place, Thatcher Street, and she was starting to get some stuff. Ralph and those guys have played down there, and she's had to cut her stuff out. And I know the Erotics wanted to play down there, and she's just afraid if she does that she's not going to be able to control it. SLA is going to come in and shut her down. So she's not booking any bands at this time.
And I get it.
It's tough.
She's a smaller venue down there too, so I can get her concerned.
Yeah. And that was I was thinking her place was almost kind of a place they were talking about, incidental, somebody sets up in the corner. But she's still
Yeah.
afraid that something's going to happen to her, no matter even if she does something like
that's
that.
a big risk. I mean, that's
Right.
a big risk. You know, being
She
a
doesn't
solo
want to lose
owner,
her
you know,
license.
yeah, you're gone. I mean, they shut you down. Even if you're gone for 2 months, you're done. It's horrible.
And they're
not gonna
hunting
do
now.
that.
It's not
Playing
even
a show
yeah.
tonight, actually.
What's that,
Yeah.
Paul?
They're horrible.
I said the Erotics are playing a show tonight, actually.
They did put that up, right?
Yeah.
They said something on Facebook, and then Tony and Wendy looked it up today. It's what's Nicole's or something?
AOH.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Just
AOA.
Northern Hibernians. Okay,
Yep.
where's that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, Waterloo.
Waterloo.
So that's a private club, though, right?
Right.
It's the Ancient Order of Hibernians.
Right.
AOA call, yeah.
So, but a high private club, they might be able to do something like this.
Yep,
Then.
that's
Yes,
correct. Just like when the smoking ban happened, whatever years ago, Elks clubs and stuff like that, they could still, you know what I mean? Because it was a private
Right. You
club.
sit at the bar, you pay your 10 cents for the beer, and you can smoke.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it is at the Eagles Club in Troy.
Yeah.
You had a condition. If you wanted to smoke in the bar, you had to at least have a drink.
What,
now
Tom?
you got to have food if you're in the bar. Well, back then you had to be drinking if you were in the bar.
Yeah, right.
I like those
So-
rules more. That sounds more fun.
Yeah, right. So we got some people to say hello to in chat. Zach's here, Chris, Michael Wilson. What's up, Mr. Wilson? How are you, sir? Mr. Kavanaugh, of course, he's right there. Ralph is here. Monk's here.
You were rebooting.
Dan finally shows up. Jesus Christ. So now that I got you guys all here,
All right. It's Saturday. The Erotics are tomorrow.
oh, is it tomorrow night?
Acoustic. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This Saturday, the Erotics are playing acoustic. Last night's rehearsal sounded sick. So,
Incidental. They're playing incidentally.
so that's tomorrow night.
Yeah. Brother T is playing as well as Ike's Wasted World.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
So that'll be a good show.
So we have a vast array of age ranges here, and I won't call out elder statesmen or the young pups, but
Yeah, call me out.
I'm young.
local clubs, past and present, guys.
Hullabaloo.
See, shouting them out already. What was your favorite club to frequent? Let's start with Paul.
It was the Hullabaloo. My 18th birthday. I went over there, and the Panther up on the stairs and the pool, and they had the greatest bands. They got Root Boy Slim. They would get Alex Starr. I'd walk over to bottle of Jack Daniels for Alex Starr. Joe Perry passed out upstairs. That was a great club to go to. Hullabaloo was the one I first started going to.
That was the one then, huh?
That was mine over in Rensselaer because they pretty much let me drink for free because I was a broke gas station attendant riding over in the middle of winter on my motorcycle. So
What
I get a
about
shot of Jack and a bud but there's the places are closed. Sandpiper. I loved playing there with China White.
No.
That was before I was singing. That was when I was just roadieing.
That's funny, Paul, because I was a bartender at the Sandpiper back when China White used to play there. And I remember the first time you guys played there. So I worked Friday and Saturday nights, and I saw all the bands that played.
Right.
They were just normal, whatever. You guys came in with kabuki makeup on.
Yeah, that's what Henry and Sean were. They were all into that. It was great.
And I was bartending. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? And you guys,
Nobody knew it. And they come out playing Accept and Slayer, and so it was fun.
Oh,
But yeah, that's when I was roadieing. But that was a nice little club, the Piper.
What about you, Bo?
I went to a lot of great shows. Local, I think, Upstate Concert Hall, Northern Lights was always one of my favorites.
And it was Tigers before that.
Tigers Pub, yep.
Valentine's was good shit. Fucking
Always.
Bogey. There were so many awesome places that always had great bands, man. Saratoga Winters.
I was just gonna say that's my joint right there, buddy.
I used to see some killer shows at Saratoga Winters.
Say what you want about Salam. He got good bands.
He did, absolutely.
He booked some good bands through there.
What about you, Carl?
I'd go Winners.
For sure.
You just, a good sized place. The crowd's always got crazy. There's just enough room to get enough people in there where you could have a decent sized show.
Yep.
I like that. That was a shame. That was a shame when I heard about that fire. Actually, I was a West Albany firefighter for years, and it was like every department in the area got called out to that thing. I'm listening to my pager and listening to all these different, they got right down to us. I mean, they had like Fisher's Ferry, Clifton Park, Half Moon. I'm like, how many engines do they need? And I realized what was burning.
Yeah.
And you go by there now, it's just the men's room left, or at least it was.
Yeah.
Was it that men's
Talk
room?
about the brick
Because I looked,
shit
I
house
thought that
thing,
I thought that was the little the green room there, the little side room that was off to the stage.
It was the men's room.
Yeah, that's the
That was
men's
the men's
room.
room.
Still.
Concrete in the
It's kind of
bathroom.
funny. I could
Oh
still,
yeah,
yeah.
Ralph says Revolution Hall in Troy. That's another really good one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What was Reflections? Reflections was in Troy, right? Was that?
No, Reflections East was in Watervliet,
Okay,
behind where the Pioneer Bank is now. And
Yeah.
my sister dated a bartender there, and I got in there underage because she was dating him. And the first bands I saw there was Chaser and Emerald City. Where
Emerald City with Ray.
Yeah, with Jack Daly, and
yeah,
I remember that. She got me drunk on Tequila Sunrises.
That was a good band. I like Emerald City.
Underage drinking tequila at the show.
Oh wow, Micah said. Oh, Chris says 288. Micah says QE2 in the gallery. You remember the gallery in this unit?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
State Street, right?
Yeah, right up on State Street by Drome Sound.
Right,
Up by
Right
Drome.
next to Jonestown. Yep.
I don't remember that place.
Yeah.
4th Street.
I remember
All right.
seeing China White and Untamed there.
We did a lot of shows there. Henry loved bringing up
Untamed.
bands that were just coming out. He'd bring them up. They'd do a set, then we'd do 2 sets at that place on Friday and Saturday. It was great.
Yep.
Untamed.
Little joint,
Great.
but man, it got moving.
Full of Roadhouse.
Any of you old timers remember the New York City Cafe?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cafe
Probably one of my favorite
too,
places.
right? Well, Duck's
I've never
Loop.
seen
You want to go here real old?
Ah,
I remember seeing Autograph play at Cafe 2. Autograph had their, big hit out, Turn Up the Radio, and Triffid opened up for him. And I remember for the first time seeing that guitar solo from Turn Up the Radio, and the guy doing for the first time, I had never seen that,
Double tap.
using all 8 fingers to tap. I had never seen it before. And I'm sitting there going, what the hell is that guy doing? That was a cool show. That was New York City Cafe 2. I remember that.
There's Star. Star's my favorite. Good to see you, Star. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Another good one was Chance in Poughkeepsie. I think they're still open. Well, probably not with the COVID, but
Yeah, they were
Only
doing
one
shows
show
right
there
up.
was weird.
yeah.
What's
Now
that?
there's a place up in, I think it's Hudson Falls, called the Strand, and I know Stephanie does a lot of shows from there.
From those stages, amazing. I played there before. It's awesome.
They have done amazing work transforming that place. It looks incredible in there now.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with that. What about it was in Nicole's in Cahos.
The little gray
Yeah,
fly. It's a
Nicole's.
flower shop now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
on that stage.
It's a flower shop now.
I can remember playing a gig there, and I believe it was my first gig on drums with Lost Reality,
Untamed.
which was Jacobs' band. No, Lost Reality was back then. And you, Carl, actually, you were roadieing for me that night, and the drum riser was so rickety that my cymbals
dude.
kept falling off. Carl, you worked your ass off. I should have paid you for that night, dude. You were working your ass off for that, dude.
You had that ride cymbal stand that kept tipping over every time you got on the bell. So I said, "Fuck it, I'm just going to hold the actual stand." Not thinking that my eardrum is going to be imploded by the end of this set, but I'm just holding the friggin' stand, sitting on the riser while you're bashing the shit out of his bell.
He held my ride cymbal up the whole show, dude. I was like, "Holy shit, man!"
I'll
Holy
definitely
fuck, yeah.
shit.
Yep. Yeah. that was a good-
Sunday afternoon shows at Muddy's.
Oh, Muddy shit. Yeah, that's right.
Right over. Yeah. And they
Tommy's place up here.
That's where I first saw Henry and Sean. Tommy's place.
Yep, that's like right around the corner from my house. Actually, it's like literally I could walk 2 minutes and I'm there.
Yeah, they had that teeny little stage there off to the side of the bar. I remember bands cramming onto that little stage at Tommy's.
And then they cut it in half and made like a pizza place in one half of it.
Yeah.
Now it's like Duffy's or whatever the hell it is.
Something.
Like,
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of it is.
I'm right.
There's all kinds of there's all kinds of new places that were opening up too right before all this quarantine stuff. I know the place that I'm at, they started that Super Dark Collective stuff. They were doing shows every Monday and Thursday at the bar that I'm at, and it was bands from all over the country. They were just starting to pick up speed. I mean, it was always busy in there. And then all of a sudden quarantine hits, and now there's just nothing.
What was the name of it?
That's at Desperate Annie's right in Saratoga. They were doing Super Dark.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, I know Paulie's did
Yeah,
a
somebody
massive
mentioned radio.
They did a massive transformation, and then they opened. I think they had like 1 or 2 shows there, and then
Right.
this thing hit and blew it out of there.
You can't see it on. You got to watch it on. Look on your phone.
Yeah, I just saw Paulie's just actually on Facebook put an ad out just recently that they're now serving certain monkeys or whatever and come on in. So they're trying to kick it back up again now. I remember playing there a few times. The poor drummer, man, if you didn't have good monitors for that drummer, he couldn't hear a goddamn thing. He was back in that back wall with a cove.
In the little cubby. Yep. Yep.
And the drummer would be like, I can't hear a fucking thing.
Yeah, you were in this little tiny closet back there.
That's just like the low beat too. Right next door is pretty much the same thing. Little tiny stage, the sound guy right up front.
All right, so now we have a club story from Carl about roadieing for me, and again, I apologize for your deafness, Joe. Let me ask you,
sort of.
There you go. Do you have any memory that stands out, like one memory from a club that's like that just immediately stands out in your mind?
Oh man, I've got everything from falling off the stage and knocking myself out to the trips down with City with Murderers Row going to the A7. I mean, those were always a great time. Bob's in the back drinking. He has to piss. He pisses into a jar. It dumps all over Chris when he's trying to pour it out the window.
Road stories.
All right. What about you boys over on the stage there? You guys got anything that stands out in your mind, concert venue wise?
I don't have much memory left from those days.
I'm kind of new to the whole thing. Like I haven't been doing this for very long, but I remember going to Valentine's and seeing the Clay People upstairs, and I was just floored. They just
great band.
The room lost their minds, and
Clay People.
It was my introduction to local music, and I'll never forget it. It was just a great experience. I had goosebumps. I got goosebumps right now just talking about it because it just I'd never seen anything like it on a stage where I was 10 feet away from the band, and these people are just blowing it up. And I was hooked. I mean, that was it.
What about you, Bo?
I'm going to have to bring it back to the Strand Theater up in Hudson Falls, where we played a show up there between now and forever, and Psychomantium. And I discovered the second floor above the stage. It was like the wardrobe area, and I definitely brought my fiance up there and violated the upstairs area, and it was insane.
Let me guess. You guys read Bible verses together, right?
Yes, we tried on all the clothes.
Ecclesiastes.
Outstanding, perfect. Okay, I'm going to go to Paul with this one because actually, my best show memories are with you, and I will
winners.
And I will tell them after you tell your.
Well, no, because the thing that always stands out to me, I wasn't even singing with China White. We were down in Queens, and I was carrying stuff in, and Sean was talking up a girl. And if you know Sean, it was either Rory Gallagher or it was Raven.
Yeah.
And so I'm calling amp.
Filling up.
Paulie, who's my favorite band? And I looked at the girl. I said, Raven. Oh, I had some hookups. So that's one. I always remember that with Johnny down in New York City. But winners with Jimmy Roberts and Tommy Cheesy.
Yep.
I mean, hanging off of the rafters and stuff. Just look at, and you guys, with you and Mikey and Tony Wimple taking care of the shit. It was when we played Saratoga Winter, it was just always a party. It was fun. We had a good time.
Now the name of the song is going to escape my head, and Yes, yeah, you know the deal. So you guys, there's a certain part of a China White song where there's 2 breaks in it, and the first one Paul says "Shah." The second time he says "kick it." Now every time I was roadieing for this band, which Paul said he loved me, but I didn't really believe it at first because because of this incident. He would literally like this, and he would look for me, and he would say the first part, and he would come over, and the second part of it is kick it, and it goes into this fucking Henry solo, and
Yeah.
so. But when he said kick it, he would literally kick me in the fucking chest every time. Knock me the fuck over. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thanks. That getting water spit on me. I remember
do that.
I remember Jimmy one time tried to spit milk out because he thought it would look cooler in the lights. That was fucking nasty. And to this day, I owe you, sir, my back problems.
Okay, I apologize.
To you, because I would go out to the front of the stage of Winners. Paul would jump up onto that little divider that between the stage and the crowd. He would jump up in there and he would jump up my shoulders. And he would sing. I'd run him all the way to the back of the club.
I had the wireless hip.
All the way back around to the other side and back up, and I would kind of like launch him back up onto the stage, and he would, land on his feet most of the time anyways.
Most of the time.
But yeah, it's, not only do I have to lug all the equipment, most of the drums, but
you got to lug the lead singer.
I got to lug the lead singer around too. But you know what,
fun, man.
Bro, I wouldn't trade any of these fucking memories for
anything that we went through. You can't trade anything that we went through back then.
No, and
because it was just a scene.
I think that's what makes it so hard seeing these clubs not only closing, but no real sight of them opening back up in anytime soon. I think that's what kind of fucking bums me out the most, is that like all these good times that I've had, that I know people have every night in, Joe's Chicken Shack in fucking Iowa somewhere. But these good times are being had all over the country in every venue that's there. People are having great times doing it, and that's just, there's nothing now. And that just sucks, man.
That connection, that friendly and family connection. When you go out to a show and you see everybody even if you don't know anybody, man, everybody has a great time. It's more than just the music. A lot of the times,
oh, absolutely, when you're hanging out, 300 people at Winners, and 300 people.
Yeah. See, Dan said in the chat. Dan said, Paul's a little guy, quit crying. Paul's a little guy, but that fucking wireless mic weighed about 8,000 pounds, dude. I had a lot of my fucking back, bro. Jesus.
No, that was
he just said it. Fuzzy just said he said it.
What about you, Brian? Now, what about did you give your story or no?
Oh, my favorite places to play. I played Winners only a few times, and then I got married, and I kind of got out of it for a little while, and then I got back in. But no, it was actually a big, huge benefit. After the Schoharie flood, there was an amazing, huge benefit that was put on in Schoharie. 3,000 plus people, vendor trucks, everything, and it was crazy. And we had this inflatable love sheep that was like life size with a real like hole in the back so you could fuck it.
What?
And I kicked into the audience, and those people in Schoharie, man, they are just around like a beach ball. Well, next thing we
loved it, I bet.
shoving beer bottles in the back of it. Somebody spins it so hard after so much beer was put in the back of it, it's literally spitting the beer back out of its freaking hole in its ass because it got and we're just playing and watching. And me and Billy, of course, were fucking lit. We didn't play till 9. We were there at 3, and there was a liquor store right across the street. So that was so we get up there and we just looked at each other. We're like, oh fuck, I guess we got to play now. But man, watching that sheep just spin in the air with the Budweiser coming flying out of its ass.
Who had that on their bingo card?
All right, I'm going to stay with you guys. I'm going to stay with you guys over at the great stage of Chrome. What music is your go-to music? If you're gonna, if you're gonna do something, you're gonna, work on a car. You guys are gonna like just hang out and listen to an album, an artist. What is it?
It's too diverse. None of us can agree. I know what my go-to is Warrior Soul. I fucking love Corey Clark. I love that band. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Zeppelin fan, and all the biggies are obvious.
Yep.
But my go-to, if I'm in the car and I just want to put on the whole seat, I love Warrior Soul.
That's exactly the concept. Rich, what about you?
Probably whatever I mixed that week. Which Which in this case is 20 videos from very crappy audio sources. The most recent thing I mixed probably was Max Thrust. So,
Which I heard that mix and it was amazing.
Yeah.
You did a fucking great job on that, man.
And those will be on the prize wheel too, by the way.
True story. Yeah, absolutely.
So we got.
What about you, young man? Finish us out.
I'm an 80s guy. I love the 80s. So I would say probably Quiet Riot, Metal Health. That was I burned that cassette out 2 times. I bought it twice. Every time on my little 1-speaker realistic boombox when I was like 8 years old. And it never gets old. Never gets old.
Well, they're not calling it because they're all dead.
What about you, Joe?
Mine's kind of a tie here. I really, if I'm getting stuff done, I like to listen to Acid Baths when the kite strings pop. Or I really freaking love Sheer Terror put out their last album, Standing Up for Falling Down, and that start to finish, it's a fucking amazing album.
Bo, how about you, bud?
I'm into a diverse, a lot of different bands and styles of music. I guess it depends on the day, but I really always revert back to old school, like Pennywise, Unwritten Law, that kind of stuff like that. And then there's days where I'm listening to metal, Trivium, underground stuff. So, COC, and I don't know, it depends on the day and the mood.
Depends on the day and the mood, exactly. What about you, Paul?
Lemmy and company.
Lemmy is God.
I mean, if I have to have one record to take to the island with me, it's No Remorse.
Not a bad choice at all.
No, I mean it's live and it's every song that's on there is killer. So,
unsurprisingly,
yeah.
Now, like Bo said, my range is from I'll go country to to thrash to death metal to et cetera, et cetera. I listen to about anything. I would say my go-to, if I picked one and said this is it, Black Flag, old school Black Flag. I can't get enough, dude.
They play the VFW.
I mean,
I got a suggestion.
Why
don't we go around the circle, starting with the letter A, and everybody pick the go-to A band, then the go-to B band.
How long was that?
Hey, I know.
We'll be here all night. You'll never get anything done.
26 letters in the alphabet.
Perfect.
How many bands start with Z?
Oh shit, we're bringing somebody else in now.
Zebra.
Yeah, it's Carl's back.
Right.
Zebrahead.
Oh, Carl.
Ziffer.
How about XYZ? There's that.
That would be interesting to see if you get a guest on the show or something, and Bo, don't steal this idea. Get a guest on the show and just quiz them. Okay, music A to Z. Here we go. A, name a band that you love. B, you know what I mean, et cetera, et cetera. That'd be kind of a cool idea.
I have been doing Family Feud questions during the interviews too, so that's always fun.
All right, I won't steal. I won't steal that. I promise, bro. I won't steal that. That's all you.
Survey
right. Carl's going again. He must be having a little technical difficulties there. And yeah, Rich, we couldn't do that anyways because you have way too much work to do to be engaging in that tomfoolery, sir.
Good point. Well, that's why I got these guys here to help me.
I know we still have to help him lug out the drum riser and put it down here for the cameras and stuff.
Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, my dudes. Okay, let me ask you this. Now, this is probably going to get a little in depth, but I'm sure Rich and Joe. I think everybody's going to probably riff on this question a little bit. Paul, especially you, 3-time air guitar champion. Guitarist that changed the game.
Oh man.
Now I know that there's 8 million of them out there, and they're all, they all have their fucking niche. But if there's 1 or 2, 3 maybe that stand out to you guys, who would they be? And if you guys could put a top 5 together on the spot, guitar players, what would it be? Let me go to Rich first because I'm really curious. This question was more geared towards Rich, but you guys can all answer it pretty much. So,
Page, he made me want to play.
Who?
Jimmy Page.
Oh,
All right.
Changed the game. Absolutely. He was as much of a songwriter, creator, producer, but just he didn't reach for your standard chord or your standard riff, and he didn't give a fuck about mistakes. He gave a fuck about what sounded great coming out of the speakers, and that was it. But to watch him was just a thing to behold, especially when I'm 6, 7 years old and looking at my first guitar and seeing them in the movies and shit, and with the fucking bell bottoms and the dragging pants and shit like that. I didn't think there was ever going to be anything as spectacular ahead in my lifetime. There was, of course, but I don't think if I didn't latch on to the whole thing right then and there, I'd ignored every guitar player out there and been an ABBA fan for the rest of my life.
He was definitely the man. Yeah. When I look at your question was more about what kind of changed it. Jimmy and Eddie, obviously, technically, but Jimmy Page was my first guitar hero. He was the guy that made me go, "Oh my fucking God!" That is just, he was a guitar hero for me. But I think more to the point, I think of what your question is more who changed
playing
guitar.
styles.
Yeah, at Jimi Hendrix first, and then Eddie Van Halen. I would think that's my opinion.
I've got a quick one. Is Tony Iommi from Sabbath? He really did a bunch of stuff. I believe he's the reason that there's drop tuning now too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Not having fingertips.
I think it's because he cut his fingers off or something.
Yeah.
He was using the leather tips and the drop tuning made the strings a little looser, so it wasn't that hard of a press on his fingers.
I'm a huge fan of Angus Young. I mean, I think his playing, man, is just for such a tiny guy and learning how to hit those chords that he wanted to play, but he had to do it an entirely different way. I thought that was incredibly impressive. All the interviews I've watched with him where he explains why he's doing what he's doing, it's pretty freaking amazing.
People in the chat say Dimebag, Jeff Hanneman from Slayer.
Politics aside, Nugent with the Birdland.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, he made that thing scream.
Yeah, the way he controlled his feedback was crazy. He literally made feedback music.
And he made sobriety cool.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Anyway.
Hey, guys, I got to get going. Awesome times, man.
Good
I hope you
you
have a great night and a great weekend, and be safe, man.
Bo, I definitely appreciate it, guys. Make sure you head over to Bo's page tonight, 11 p.m. Bo's got something special for you guys. Make sure you check it out. Bo, I appreciate you stopping by, my man, and hopefully we'll be doing this again soon, man.
I love what you're doing on here. You're doing a great job, man.
Much appreciated, my man.
All right, guys, be easy.
All right, bro.
Yeah, man.
And then there were 4. Yeah, it's just got bigger, right? It just got real. I literally sat down. Yeah, right. I literally sat down when I thought of this question. It was about 10 minutes, and I literally came up with.
Yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing. Like, I guess it's like, I don't want to say generational, but it's almost like in certain time periods and genres, you can't okay, Eddie Van Halen changed the rock game, but Brad Paisley changed the country game.
True.
I mean, I guess the question's kind of skewed, I guess, a little bit, and I probably should have said, Yngwie came along and everybody's like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? Stevie Ray Vaughan changed the scene of blues. Then you got Steve Vai and Satriani, David Gilmour, Slash. You can go on.
Too many. Go on and on.
There's way too many. Buddy Guy, Albert King, the list. Joe Bonamassa. I mean, it's just kind of, there's so many good ones to name, but I mean, I guess there stands out. It stands out to me, anyways. There's standouts in every situation. Eddie was kind of like the, he came along in the late 70s, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa. But then you got Satriani came around it was late 80s, early 90s maybe. Yeah. And changed the game. Steve Vai followed right along behind him. Yngwie in in the early 80s, Richie Blackmore. I mean, dude, I could just read off this. I could just go on and on and on. Then you got newer guys like, I wouldn't say newer, but like Zach Wilde, stuff that Zach Wilde does. Like Bo said, Tony Iommi, Dimebag, Randy Rhoads. I mean, I could sit here and name them all day. I mean, I'm sure Vernon Reed from Living Color, Chris, excellent. Yeah, that's another one. Oh, this is Zach Wilde. Yep. Yo Ma, Jesus Christ.
I like that David Crosby's getting a lot of shit because he said he didn't dig Eddie.
Yeah, man. He goes,
Right?
Yeah. What's been going on with that whole battle? It seems like there's been a massive battle about that going on.
David just said that Eddie wasn't his cup of tea.
That's
'cause
not a bad
thing. Right. It's not. But all of a sudden, he's getting so much shit for it. Everybody's calling him an asshole and everything else. But
well,
Probably
that was
just bad timing.
yeah,
That's him climbing back, though. The thing that he got shit from is he literally just went meh, M-E-H.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right.
Literally all he did.
His
and
first
yeah.
delivery was
and when people gave him shit, he was just like,
You're
no.
right.
He goes, no, the guy was amazing. He just wasn't my cup of tea. Now, that's a different.
That's the way you answer.
That's different than meh. You're absolutely right, Brian.
His initial was,
Yeah. So he could have handled it better, right? But I just love that people are coming down on him for that because Eddie wasn't everybody's cup of tea.
He
But
has
I mean-
like this.
That's when you just go, oh, you're kind of a dick and move on.
Right.
What he thought of me.
But now that you've been hearing all the Eddie stuff, I mean, the Sirius had the Van Halen channel, and I'm hearing stuff that I've never heard Van Halen. 'Cause I didn't after the Van Halen, Van Hagar. I mean, you heard it was on the radio, but I wasn't buying any records. Now I'm hearing stuff, and some of his guitar playing just doesn't even sound like guitar.
right.
It's amazing. So
Yeah, who's that,
I mean, that turns off a lot of guys too. Oh, what the hell are you doing with the guitar? You're making it sound like shit.
Who's that guy from
Well-
Rage Against the Machine? Who's that?
Tom Morello.
Yeah, that guy's
Tom
a
Morello.
jackass. I watched him give a guitar tutorial. He just unplugged the guitar and started poking himself in the hand with the jack there. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how you're playing a fucking static noise, bud.
Right.
Now, see, Chris, that's a really good. Chris says Prince, no joke. He's no joke.
Oh
dude.
yeah, you watch him play with that Heart Gently Weeps while my guitar gently
Yes,
weeps.
yes,
Yeah.
and stole the show. Classy.
I agree.
I mean,
I tried to get behind Prince on his music, man, but the whole restraining order from his sister because he was trying to fuck her, just
Yeah.
like that put me off.
Right. The guy can shred, but
what's wrong with that?
I got to see him at the Carrier Dome during the Purple Rain tour, and it was the first time I ever experienced quadraphonic sound. They didn't do it through the whole concert, but during like the Beautiful Ones or something like that, where it's got all this like weird interlude in it, it was quad sound in the Carrier Dome. It was going right around it. It was pretty cool.
Oh
that
no
was
shit.
When I saw Van Halen there with Eddie's birthday, they brought out the midget with the Jack Daniels bottle, and that was a crazy place to see a club.
What's up, Gus? Good to see you, Gus.
You go walking out of there, and that wind just pushes you out the doors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
you're
You're
going
leaving.
in and you're like going against the wind, but as you're leaving, it's pushing you right
It's
out.
just shoving you right out the door because all the air is going out of the place because
Because
it
the
had
roof
that
is being held up by air pressure.
roof.
Hey,
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
We lost
Tony
the
just
voice.
reminded me we were at that Van Halen show.
cat
We were
there.
going into a play. We were walking in, and I happened to go. You guys know where the aerodrome is? Was some guy standing out there. He goes, "How'd you like me to put a bullet in your head?" And apparently, I said that it'd cure my headache. So Tony was afraid we were going to get beat up, but I was already lit, so I didn't. Apparently, I didn't care. But I remember the show was great. Eddie fell on the cake, but yeah, the Carrier Dome. That was a huge place to see bands.
So I mean, that was obviously it was a hard hit when Eddie passed for everybody
For a
except
lot of people.
David Crosby, of course. So I know you just mentioned Van Halen, Van Hagar thing. Let's get your opinion on that. Who's on what side? Because it seems to be
My tweet was David sang Mean Streets better and Sammy sang Right Now better.
Yeah, I mean that's been my view on it too. It's kind of like they both had the good points.
Right. I mean,
There's
Dave
stuff I
can't
like
sing the
from both.
Sammy stuff, but you don't want to hear Sammy singing Mean Streets. I mean, you got
Exactly.
the raps from David. You want to hear him doing that and dive her down.
Yep.
So
What about you guys? Rich?
It's like comparing apples and oranges.
Right.
I liked them both. I didn't like the songs so much with Sammy Hagar or with the direction the music went. But he's incredible, and there's no denying that. The band's incredible.
Montrose and all the stuff that he wrote early too. Yeah,
Right. And
he's a hell of a guitar player. So Glens Falls. He was at Glens Falls on the Red Rocker tour there.
yeah,
3 Lock Box and all that. It was a great show.
that was like right after Eddie's hip surgery or something like that, and he was bouncing around like a fucking acrobat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be that's gotta be the thing that sucks the most right now. You have all these musicians dying, and nobody can play any shows.
Right.
It's kind of like you're dying off stage. I'd rather fucking go on stage. You know, have a heart attack. Fucking carry me off.
Right.
Let it all out.
You don't even have that option anymore.
I've always been partial to the Van Hagar stuff. I just like it more. Not that I don't like the older stuff, like Unchained is a song that if I want to get like pumped up for shit, that's a song to throw on. I mean, it's a lot of their earlier shit's fucking killer. I've just always been more partial to, if I had to put a Van Halen album on, it would be something with Sammy, probably 5150, I think was their best.
I just love his voice, man. I remember I was a fan of Sammy Hagar's, back with 3 Lock Box and, with the Red Rocker. And I got to see him live a couple times that way. And I'm just a huge fan of his voice. But without a doubt, the classic Van Halen, it made its own little mark. And without that, I don't know if you would have had the Sammy Hagar version. But I have to say I like the Sammy Hagar voice on Van Halen better than I like David Lee Roth. Do I like the songs better? I don't know. The songs of the early years, the guitar gymnastics were a little bit more, you know what I mean, in the early songs. They're more party songs. And as I got older, I think the party song kind of took less, importance to me than a song that I just found was well written with a meaningful lyric and something. So I guess it's just different stages of your life, you know what I mean, that you find you like one that over the other. For me.
I think hands down, David Lee Roth commands the stage more than Sammy would, for sure. I mean, Dave's a showman. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
And
he got it from Jim Dandy, though. He basically took Jim Dandy's freaking persona, kind of, didn't he?
And I actually saw an interview with David Lee Roth not too long ago. I think it was on Facebook or something. And people are just like, I mean, they're all over him. Like, what the fuck's with his hair? And like, he's definitely lived a hard life for sure. But but I mean, everybody's
attack the weirdest shit.
A good life, though.
They go after the weirdest stuff, though.
Yeah, but doesn't it seem like that's more common nowadays than it has ever been? And it's not just with rock; it's with politics and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I mean, politics, there's just straight up fucking bullies out there now, man. It's crazy.
Oh, you're talking about attacking someone's looks, you mean?
It's easier for everybody to have a voice. It's easier for everybody to get out there and say shit, and they can do it from a distance.
Keyboard warrior.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I touched on it. It was either last week or the week before about people, and this is just a personal experience. People on my Facebook page saying like, if you support Trump, then unfriend me now. And I'm like, oh, okay, here you go. And this is friends of like 30 years. Like, dude, you're not going to bully me into who I like. You know what I mean?
I don't even support him. I'm just going to unfriend that person on principle.
Right.
Like, invitation's there.
Right. Dare me? Oh, gee. All right. Click. I can push a button.
Yeah. Oh, no. You're not on the computer anymore.
Dare me.
It seems to me that we're in the day and age now where it's like, if you don't agree with me, fuck you. And nobody's entitled to their opinion unless it matches whoever's creating the argument,
To me, people like that are like that with everything, though. Everyone, everything's like black and white, and there's a gray area. And their black and white is like this, and their gray area is like that. Me, I live my life in the gray area, and I got a little bit black and white over here, where I'm just definitely one way or the other on something. Yeah. And I'm wishy-washy because I'm like, well, let me hear what you have to say, Well,
everybody should hear each other out. I mean, that's the way it should be. Fucking talk about it. The fact is that anybody that's taking a stance right now, it's a political environment that we have on either side is ridiculous because they're both absolute garbage. Like politicians, I don't understand how you can pick a politician like you're picking a sports team. They're all garbage.
Well, that's what's kind of funny because a lot of us do. We just vote. We're like, okay, who am I going to vote for? Okay, when you get this like almost rock star love affair with a politician, you're no longer looking at policy. You're no longer looking at issues. You have this infatuation with this human being in a way you would with a rock star or some other
Actor.
person that you put on a pedestal, and you're not even listening anymore. And when I see people do that with a politician, I'm like, all right, I don't need to talk.
You're lost.
Yeah.
You've drank the Kool-Aid and you're gone.
Yeah, it's politics are garbage these days.
And
It's
a
all
lot
fucking
of it's
garbage.
just media hype. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be
Oh,
like
that was-
Kirstie Alley and go with no politicians.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm okay with that. They want to you want to find a new way to do things. I'm cool with it. I'm probably just gonna still work and do what I have to do. That's
We all
End
are,
of the day.
right? Joey, we all, yeah. I mean, you're gonna get up in the morning, you're gonna go do your job, and you hope that these guys in Washington don't fuck us over.
yeah. I mean that's it. I watched a debate last night, and I gotta tell you, man, neither one of them were really fucking good.
Oh.
It was dog shit. Sorry, I keep swearing here. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear.
Well, no,
in here.
plus the
you
libertarians could be
say
up
whatever
there
you want,
too.
dude. Say whatever you want.
Fucking awesome.
Say whatever you want, dude. You might offend Rich, but other than that, we're good. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sorry, Rich, in advance.
It's really hard to offend Rich.
If Kavanaugh hasn't offended him,
I know it's
no
very
one's
hard to
gonna
offend Rich. I try, and it's really hard. You can't get it done.
Okay,
But I mean,
touche. You got me on that one.
That's a good point, though. I think it mostly boils down to all this crap is that everybody's just easily offended these days. For what?
It's almost it's like everybody. I mean, I get it. Everybody's on edge because of the COVID thing. Everybody's trapped in the house, not being able to do what they want to do. You got to wear a fucking mask everywhere you go, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a different, completely other conversation to have about masks and lockdowns and all that other shit. But we're heading towards it again. I'm not, I don't want to be the first
I
one to
think it's
tell you that.
unavoidable these days.
But we're heading towards another lockdown again. I'm almost positive of it, and I hate to say that. What's that?
The way the numbers are going,
Exactly. I'm monitoring it closely because obviously my kid's in school, and he does the hybrid half and half thing. Goes to school half a day one day and home remote learning, whatever the fuck they call it. But email every day, email after email. Oh, another student tested positive for COVID. With another, now they're saying a member of the community. They're not saying whether it's a student, a teacher, but most of them are the adults that work in the schools. And that sucks, dude, because it's like, first of all, you're supposed to be, protecting our kids. You're supposed to be teaching them to be responsible, and yet here you are, fuck that mask, whatever you're doing, and I shouldn't say that because maybe some people catch it by accident, but I mean, I'm sure if you go to their Facebook, you'll see them out there, Karen dancing with 30 other people with no fucking mask on. Like,
it doesn't matter if you wear a mask if you go to a glory hole. You know what I mean?
It matters if you wear a glove.
I gotta tell you, I'm sneezing all around the hole. That's all I'm doing. I'm just sneezing everywhere.
hey, book us a spot at the glory hole tonight. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that heads up. You know what I'm saying? All right. So getting back to local bands, I'm going to say this now. Local bands now that stand out to you guys. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it. Murderers Row, Uncivil Liberty, Ported Molly, China White. We'll get that out of the way right now. What about you guys personally, other than your bands, which, you guys are all heavy hitters? What local band stands out to you guys? What have you heard locally that you guys are like, wow, you guys should take a listen to this? Like, if you guys were going to recommend a local band right now to my chat here, what would it be? Joe, let's start with you.
I still love Girth Control. Every time I see those guys live, man, they're a freaking awesome band.
Paulie?
I haven't been out to see bands in so long, but I know the Erotics put out their new record, and that's real good because I went up and heard the recording of it. I'm one of the people cheering there. So, and that stuff is Mikey's always written good punk music.
Yep,
they've always been punks. Lethal Lipstick, since they were Lethal Lipstick, they've always been good punk band.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one I was going to say. Is the new Erotics album is really, really good.
It's really good. I like it. I tried ordering the vinyl, but some compressing problems, so I'll have to wait till next year.
Yeah, I just got that refund too. I got it like a week ago. I got it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
They'll fix it. We'll get it.
I tell you, people don't realize how good of a guitar player he is, because a lot of the Erotics music really isn't guitar driven when it comes to virtuosity. You know what I mean? But I did 2 cover bands of him. I did one called Personality Crisis with him and Mike McMullen trading guitar.
He's another great guitar player.
Oh yeah, Mike McMullen.
Yeah.
Good guitar player. And then I did Days Confused, and me and Mike were drinking one night, and he's like, "Let's get a cover band where we play only songs from the movie Days Confused." And that's what we
That's awesome.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And we'd open the setup with "Nobody's Gonna Take My Gun," Deep Purple.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Highway Star.
And fucking trash. I mean, our first time practicing, he showed up, knew both the parts because he wasn't sure what the other guitar player was going to learn, so he knew both parts and asked him, what do you want to do? And at the time, it was Doug Reynolds, who's now with the Erotics. Doug then broke his hand before our first gig 3 weeks before, so Tony, who's now the bass player in Erotics, he picked up and he played second guitar for Days Confused 3 weeks in advance, learned everything he had to. It was stellar, man.
That was a blast.
And watching Trash just shred, because we had a singer for that one. He sang in Personality Crisis, did not sing in Days Confused. He just was the lead guitar. And every night, it didn't matter how many shots he and I did, he just could rip. He could rip.
Speaking of broken bones and gigs, Paul, and I know I'm getting off topic here, but do you remember there was a gig at Winners where Jimmy broke his foot or his ankle or something? Like, do you remember that?
No.
He had a cast on and he played in a fucking cast. He's telling me like, be ready just in case. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah. He had broken it. He had broken it like doing something, and he came to the show with a cast on. Yeah.
Yep. And played the show in a cast. He's like, he told me, he's just like, just be ready, because if I'm done, I'm done. And I did the last song and then Louie with you guys.
We used to get up right.
Yep. And it was funny too, because in between songs we switched spots, and I'm playing away and nobody notices that I'm sitting there.
Right.
You came back and did your thing where you were, 1 foot on the riser. You looked at like you were looking for Jimmy, and you were like, like, who the fuck are you? And then you were like, and you just nodded and you walked away, and
show must go on.
Yep. And then you announced, that I was going to sit in for Louie and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I've been sitting here for a song, but thanks for noticing, But yeah, that was good. That was a good time.
Glad that wasn't the part of the set where he kicks you in the chest?
You know what? He would have found me. He would have come right off. He would have come right off the bistro. He would have found me. He would have, for sure.
It was just fun times.
You would have kicked Jimmy, and he would have been like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah, right. Well, he never yelled at me for standing on his drums. That's the great. It was hilarious.
Yep.
A couple other guys in the band, I couldn't stand on their drums.
Nope.
But Jimmy wouldn't mind. He didn't have a problem with it.
Yep.
Because he knew I was 130 pounds. Soaking wet.
Yeah, but that microphone was 800 pounds. Don't forget. Let's not forget that. So now, and this is kind of a opinionated question, but what do you guys think that the local scene, music-wise, is going to look like in the next 10 to 20 years? I mean, we've been through the 80s, the 90s, 2000s. Now we're talking, 40 years? We've been doing this stuff for some of us 30, some of us 40 years. What do you think the next 10 years is going to be like, local music-wise?
I'm going to be 70.
Yeah, and you're probably still going to be singing just as good as you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Port Ed Molly will have the same set list that we've had for 20 years.
Fuck, we will.
It's all circular.
I'm hopeful. I really am. I am blown away by. It's just such a new delivery. We're not used to this. We're used to the whole you record, you put something out, you go, you play. Now you're just putting out music all the time if you want.
Right.
And some of these kids out there are just really.
There are some good. Let's go. Nick Stamos, Dylan, Dylan Galee is playing great on the drums. He was fantastic.
Yep.
That whole Nick's whole band, that Frozen Sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of the bands I saw some of his stuff that he was doing. That's a good band. Those guys are tight.
Yeah, his singer Tollerton there. That kid's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
He's got pipes. He's a good singer.
I remember when Nick was being taught by Ginsu, Pat Ginley.
Yeah.
Student. He was like 14 years old, and they used to do an open mic night at Fuller Roadhouse, and he would have Nick come up and play at the open mic and play Ginsu's Flying V through Ginsu's stuff. And I was blown away by the kid back then. And now he's also a good kid, man. I run into him out, and he'll always say hello. He's not like all full of himself like a lot of kids might be.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
He was Henry's student for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was scared of Henry when he first you talked to him. When he first met Henry, because his mom, Nick's mom, knew Henry. They were in Adirondack.
Yeah.
I think Nick said he was 11 or 12 or something, and Henry comes out in the hair and the freaking all. Come on in. You don't like it? You don't have to stay. So he liked it. So,
Yeah, he liked it. He definitely liked it.
All right, fellas, I got to take off. I got to head.
Joey, good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank you for doing that Henry thing at Fusebox too. You guys were great that night.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you're breaking up.
Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just tonight at Henry's thing at the Fusebox at Henry, and really appreciated you doing it. But you guys slayed.
We had a blast.
And I wanted to tell you
We had a
that.
blast. We can't get back there.
Yeah,
Can't wait to get back to playing.
That's the first time I ever saw you guys, and I remember that's the first time I met you. You probably don't remember. You came off stage, and I just told you how great you sounded. And
thank you very much.
I said, I can't believe how good you came out front here and sounded so great. And you're like, I put a lot of time in my tone. I'm glad you said that. And I'm like, okay.
Oh shit, I do remember that conversation.
Right. 'Cause, you guys were smoking that night, man. Smoking.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. I can't wait to get back there, and hopefully we'll see you guys then.
Yeah, Joe, definitely. Listen, man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. And I got to get with you soon because we got to hook up because I got to grab that stuff from you.
Oh yeah, I got 2 bags full of stuff here for you.
I still have my note up here, so I didn't forget about you. I'm just super busy with
Yeah, you got that
everything that's
post-it
going on.
note. Just got to put them everywhere.
Stuff.
Right.
There it is. Don't be an idiot right there, bro. I still have it. See?
Is that for sale?
They're all over the wall, dude. It's a fucking nightmare. But yeah,
Are those
dude.
going to be raffled off?
Yeah, exactly.
Wrap off post-it notes.
Hey, I can autograph them, man, for sure. Absolutely. Joe, again, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I don't want to keep you so you can get to work, but I'll be in touch, man, for sure.
Absolutely. I'll see you guys.
All right, my man. Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Peace.
And then there were 3. Well, 5 now, actually, but 3 it is.
You could
Yeah,
get different cameras if you want, and crowd the screen back up.
we're gonna have a 3-camera shoot over there, Rich, are we?
Yeah.
So I know I had said it before, but there's bands that are breaking up because of this. There's people that are picking up instruments now and starting to learn because they have nothing else to do. I guess that's the bad and the good about COVID as far as the music goes, but I mean something's got to break free soon. Obviously, Chrome's in trouble. 95% of the other venues are in deep shit because of this thing.
Some of them are Wicked's doing okay. They are doing okay. But you're right. A lot of venues, they were just known for just going there for a show. They had their own thing even without a show, and they're doing okay. But, yeah, you're right. Most of them are not doing okay.
Which, I mean, thankfully they are. My God, it's, I don't wish this shit on anybody for sure, but Jesus Christ, man. It's,
Yeah, my brother-in-law owns Otis and Oliver's on Mill Road Golf Course. It's a restaurant there.
yeah, yep.
And it's been rough. It's been real rough. And he's got a really good place, and he's getting by. And he tells me he feels so bad for places that just didn't have the clientele that he has, because it's hard for him right now, and he can only imagine how it is for places that were just getting by before. So they're going under, really.
I know that I was talking to one of the guys I emailed one of the guys from the Save Our Stages place, and asked them, about their organization, what they're doing. I was basically trying to see if they would. I contacted at least 20 people from the media in regards to the telethon. I'm saying, and this guy from the Save Our Stages thing, they're out of New York City. His name is Moose, cool guy. He basically said, like, they have to apply, and I'm not seeing their name on the roster, have them apply. So, but he said, in any way else I can, he goes, I'll put it up on the site. I'll see what I can do for you guys. Like, just totally cool. I mean, like, that guy was really, really cool. Gave me a lot of information that I can pass on to Darla and all that stuff. So, hopefully that helps a little bit.
So she's not running food or anything up there.
Unfortunately, no.
No, there hasn't been a person in this club since
March
we
12th.
moved all our shit down here like 3-4 weeks ago. How long ago was it? It was like 4 weeks. We're going on like 4 weeks now.
Almost 4 weeks, yeah.
About that, yeah.
If you've seen the inside of this auditorium right now, it's like all my computer shit, everything that was in my living room when you were over there practicing.
Yeah. Okay.
Those big screens and all the computers and shit like that, plus a lot of my photography gear and shit like that. So that's basically what's in here. Nobody could come in here and play if they wanted to, unless they wanted to do a live stream at this point. But we brought that shit all down a month ago to prepare for this and rehearse and do some pre-recording and shit like that. So
Cool.
But yeah, no, there hasn't been a soul here. I've left all of my stuff here. That's how empty the place is.
All the shit behind us has been here a month, and we just leave it here. That's Rich's Marshalls. That's my bass amp. The drums are from our drummer in Port Edmond. It's one of his second sets. It's just been sitting here for over a month, and they'll be using it, on the 1st?
On the 1st, and then we'll probably spend the remainder of the month getting it out of here before the next. Now, you got to kind of, when you put it into perspective, you got out of work cook here. You got out of work four out of work bartenders.
Right.
Johnny's not John Chiara's not getting any work out of this place now. Albany Joe Wassel's not getting any work out of this place. They're all starving too, and
it's bad.
So it's not just Darla that's going through it, Darla and Dave going through the hard time. It's all of them. It's far, and additionally, all the bands that can't play here, which we're trying to do something about. So, and then this happens. She has to close the place or not open, so to speak. She's not closed. She could book parties and stuff, but there's nobody out there that can have one. Who's got the fucking money for that right now to go into a club and spend whatever money they do have during this that they've been able to save?
Well, you're not supposed to even have gatherings, even private ones, more than 50 people or something like
yeah.
that.
Well, we were booked to play here on
three different dates. Yeah.
And
Paul was going to play
this month.
Yeah.
On
Civil Liberty and Black Cat Elliott and Dwayne Beer's band.
Anyway, what happened? How we got incidental music? How are we going to explain incidentally that 5 bands showed up to play? Not incidental.
Right. And China White was going to do a special thing during on Civil Liberty set. That would have been cool. But
it should be more like a subset.
Damn you, COVID.
But I think, remember as recently as like a month and a half ago, people really actually were still talking about it like it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And when I started to talk to Darla about the telethon coming up, the first thing I said was, well, number one, people think we're having this show on October 3rd. Not people, members of the other bands still think we're playing, which is insane, impossible.
You're not.
Let's cancel that and do what we're going to do.
My sister and brother-in-law owning a restaurant, I knew it wasn't going to happen. My brother-in-law was like, I don't see how that's going to happen, dude. I'm like, well, the other bands are really thinking it's gonna.
I don't know. Did it look like there were signs that that by this time of the year that we'd be at the other side of this thing where bars would be open?
Right, the original date
we'd all be
April.
playing again. Did that look like it to either of you guys?
I think a lot of that is, people they were hoping for that to happen. It was more of just clinging on to something good rather than just, admitting defeat and saying, okay, we're not doing anything until 2021 sometime. Rather than doing that and being defeated and just say, okay, yeah, maybe we can get this done. Maybe this will happen. And, I think it just kind of, it's a little game that we play with ourselves that we try to stay positive and look for something good in all of this. And a live show would be good. How do you, I don't know.
I talked about this a lot too on shows past and present, whatever. But a lot of people are craving that interaction with a live show. I was lucky because I decided that we would start, especially for the GoFundMe that we ran, that we would start streaming bands to try and raise some revenue for the GoFundMe. So I had the best seat in the house for shows while this whole thing was going on. I got to see Murderers Row, and it was me and like 3 other people. That was the best part about it. I got to see Mariah Formica did a killer set. The guys from Faced, Jordan and the boys from Faced, came and killed it. Mike and the Monsters put on a hell of a show. Jesus Christ, Buried played. I mean, Malefic kicked it all off. So I got to see live shows, which was cool. And I kind of, everybody's just like, oh my God, I can't wait to see a live show. And I'm just kind of putting my head down. I see him every 2 weeks, I feel like shit about that. But, so, I mean, I was lucky in that capacity.
We should do some more. Now that we have this stuff here, I mean, it's our stuff. We can just leave it here, man. If Darla's cool with doing some more live stream kind of things.
Well, she does have things. She does have private parties booked.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good.
So
I'm glad.
There's a couple things I think some of the businesses around here with the holidays come and have holiday parties that she'll be able to still keep commitments for that kind of thing.
That's great.
That'll
That's
definitely
good.
help out, for sure.
But by then, after all this, after November 1st, hopefully she'll be able to just keep on going.
Private
If our goal, if we do what we say we're going to do, and this gets as big as we think it's going to be, then we'll have a club next year to play in anyway.
Yeah, let's hope.
Good.
Guys. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw a shameless plug in here. I've been trying to keep the plugs out of it because normally I throw them in every 10 minutes or so. I'm trying to throw somebody's name out there just to help them out. But guys, Sunday, November 1st, chat, listen up because this is important. Sunday, November 1st, 12 to 8 p.m. There's no place like Chrome Telethon is coming at you guys. 8 hours of amazing stuff, music, testimonials. There's going to be talking, prizes, raffles, hijinks. You're going to see Kavanaugh. You're going to see.
Oh God,
I might be drinking.
might be,
which is even better. There's going to be a lot of super famous people are going to be involved in this. And when I say super famous people, I mean they're big people. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's 8 full hours of fun. You guys definitely want to join in on that. It's going to be broadcast on Chrome's Facebook page. I'm also going to share it on my personal page, on the 518 Live Concerts page. That was our streaming page on Facebook. Unfortunately, I don't think I can get it on YouTube, but I can talk to Richie about that. Maybe I can put it on my YouTube channel. I'll definitely put it on that Fuzzin' 518 Shows page. I'll share it there. It's going to be shared, I'm sure, thousands of times.
It'll be also on 3 other pages too.
On 3 other pages. Oh, yeah. See, so it's
518 Freak Shows page. We're going to simulcast it. So literally it's called cross posting. So the same notification that goes out to the Chrome page is going to go right to your page. It'll give out the 518 Fuzzy Live is live, and 518 Freak Shows page, Pro Art Services page, probably Uncivil Liberties band page,
And we'll definitely do it.
and Poor Dead Molly's
Yeah, we
page
got
will
a big
simulcast,
following, man.
and the Saratoga Winners page. So any page that I'm an admin of will be cross posting it. So.
and that's the key to it too, is if you see it on my page anybody else can share it on their page. Their friends can see it, and that's how it gets way the fuck out there, is when more people start sharing it. If it shows up on 100 pages, it's going to be on 1,000 pages. People are just going to share it.
I got a question. What was that date again? I want to put it on my calendar.
Sunday, November 1st, 12 to 8 p.m. Yep.
8 at night it ends? Noon to 8?
Noon to 8 p.m. Absolutely. And now just remember, guys, that the clocks go back an hour.
Yep.
So you get
On
an extra
Saturday.
hours of sleep at 2 a.m. Saturday. You get an extra hours of sleep so you guys can sleep in and you can watch that fucking thing all day. 12 to 8 p.m. Guys, make sure you tune in for that. You're definitely not going to want to miss it.
And if you're up early in the morning having coffee, a few hours prior to the show, we may just be broadcasting some pregame shit on some of the sets, showing a little behind the scenes stuff and talking about what's about to come before the chaos. So we may spend a few hours on your channel, Fuzz.
So what you're saying is incidental hijinks?
Something like that, yes.
I like that. I absolutely like
Gaming
that.
where everybody drinks nice and early. I mean, has coffee, of course.
There is nothing incidental about Kavanaugh. Nope.
Kavanaugh, why does my orange juice taste like fucking vodka, dude? Stop it. So now I'm going to ask you guys this. There are a lot of bands that take a lot of abuse. I'm talking national acts, but I mean, local bands take abuse too, but that's just because, people have an axe to grind or whatever. There's bands that take a lot of abuse. The number one for me is, and I don't want your opinion on this, the band Nickelback.
Yeah. I've seen them live 4 times because my wife really likes them. Every time I saw them, I was blown away. Their production was crazy. They sounded great. Do I love their songs? Do I care about the persona? No, but they put on a great show. It sounded good. I don't know, man. I don't understand the hate.
Yeah, I don't either. I never listened to them enough to really get it. Just what you hear on the radio.
Right.
I think the general, and I've asked a lot of people this question, especially about Nickelback, and I think that the general consensus is that their music is overproduced. That's what it seems like. A lot of people have told me that. It's just like,
all right,
or Pearl Jam light.
Now, if that, and I was going to get to Pearl Jam in about three other bands. If you look at the crowd at a Nickelback show, I mean, guys, I'm talking to guys now. If you look at the crowd at a Nickelback show, the crowd is compiled. There's a lot of chicks at the Nickelback concerts. So, I mean, you might want to rethink your logic a little bit and think sensibly. I know I did
go for the women, not the music.
Well, it's definitely heavier live. I mean, it's not overproduced live. So when I saw them live, I saw they can really play.
Mm-hmm.
And they would go off on a tangent and just start playing a Pantera song and play like a verse and then stop and laugh and take it and then come out and drink a shot. And then they go like, all right, let's play, in one Nickelback hit of some sort. You know what I mean?
Rockstar or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm just saying, you could tell that they're like a club band that went through, thousands of shows and got really tight and made it.
Yeah.
They made it. They made it with some, commercial songs, but big deal.
Yeah, well, I think the whole the whole nipple slap being the butt of the joke thing is kind of like it's already run its course. Because you don't see a lot of memes about tickle sack anymore. But I think they've been overrun by 5 Finger Fruit Punch or Pull My Finger Death Punch, whatever the fuck their name is, as being a little bit newer in the game. So now anti-boomers or the youth, the two youths, out there that write all the memes on Reddit, they're attacking.
Dan said Dan
fist punch or whatever the fuck the name is.
But think about it. Think about back when we were younger. Winger was the butt.
Right.
Exactly.
The nerdy kid wore the Winger shirt, where you know what I mean. And you look back, I wasn't a Winger fan, but boy, oh boy, Rep Beach. Listen to his guitar playing. Holy fuck!
Yeah, the dude's crazy, crazy.
He's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, Winger, it's funny that you could compare Winger when we're talking about Nickelback because the same fucking goddamn thing happened to Winger.
Same happened.
Winger has 15 top 10 hits in a row, 7 at a time in the top 10. And then, like, the next day, completely fucking gone, and the record company don't want nothing to do them.
Yep.
Nipple Slap, same thing. Big, giant fucking hit after hit after hit after hit, and that's all you hear on the radio. And anytime you get in your car, you change the channel, and it's still Nickelback. So
no, I remember when they first came out because we actually, cover band. We played a couple of songs by them, but they're not even the famous ones. I can't even remember what the fuck songs they were, but they were early on. And then, of course, they became the laughing stock, a joke, and we're like, well, yeah, we ain't gonna play those anymore because. Whatever. And I'm like,
people are making fun of it, and we're not going to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was about domestic abuse. I remember us playing.
Never again.
Never again. Never again. It was a rocking fucking tune. We love that song, man. We played that.
Dan, that's Stained. Dan, that's Stained. Aaron Lewis's band.
Somebody just pull in.
There's lights out there.
What about Metallica?
I love those 2 albums that everyone hated, man. I like them.
I went and saw him at the drive-in. Tony and I, we went with Wendy, and we went and saw him, and it was a good show. They were playing outdoors. They played all the hits. It sounded good. That's a band that's right. They've been around forever.
Paul, how was that experience though? I don't think I've talked to somebody that has been there.
It was like watching it on TV. Okay. It was very good. I mean, the music was good, and it was on a huge screen, and it was nice hanging out because people would be playing it on their car stereos, so you'd hear it all over. It's like in stereo throughout the whole Jericho drive-in. But I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't live music. It had been taped. Right. It wasn't even live streamed. It had been taped, and then they had edited and did that stuff with it. So I would almost rather see him on the live stream.
But think about it. I mean, back in the day, you go to the midnight showing of The Song Remains the Same by Zeppelin, and I saw that 100 times in the theater. Right. And I didn't mind. Mind.
No, you don't.
The Palace Theater, they had full PA, live PA, with the movie, and that was fucking great, man.
Yeah. And then they put in those movie parts too, the stuff that they filmed with Jimmy and all that, and that kind of made it a different experience.
Yeah.
That almost made it. It made it a little.
Oh, because you were high.
That too, yeah. And the Wall, you go see the Wall.
Well, I did the same thing with U2's Rattle and Hum. They used to play it every Friday and Saturday night at the Hellman Theater on Washington Avenue. And my friend Tyson and I were both drummers. We used to go there. We used to bring our sticks. We were only 2 in the fucking every day that we went. Only 2 in the theater, and we'd bring our sticks and we'd play along the back of the seats to the whole thing. The manager came and he's like, if there's anybody else in here, you guys are not supposed to do that. But he goes, I think it's kind of cool. But there was never anybody in there, so we did it every time. It was cool.
Well, U2 as a drummer, was it just basically hi-hat and snare?
Yeah, Larry Mullen Jr. Yeah, exactly.
The early songs were all the same.
And echo.
Boom.
That's why it was easy to play in a chair for sure.
I remember playing I Will Follow when I was in a band called Zodiac. We were the first band to ever play the Sandpiper. No band had ever played it yet. I was friends with Mike Galanka, and his family owned it. And we played the Sandpiper. And I remember we used to play U2's I Will Follow. I just thought of that. Random, sorry.
It's crazy what pops into your head when you're just sitting around chatting.
U2, and I was like, the only 2 things I know about that is we used to play I Will Follow, and I saw them on the Zoo Tour up at Saratoga Raceway or something. It was outside.
The harness track, right?
Yeah, whatever. The harness track or whatever. It was crazy. That was a huge show. Primate for him. Oh, man. Watching fucking Claypool play that bass. Oh, Jesus Christ. That guy.
Another innovator on the instrument.
He's insane. He's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, what about Slipknot?
I like them, and I don't care. I know they've turned that tide that they get made fun of, but early on, people loved them. They thought they were heavy. They thought they were great, and now, I think Corey probably is. He's so oversaturated, and I think he might have been a detriment actually to Slipknot, quite frankly. But I like them.
Yeah, I dig them too. I'm definitely a fan for sure.
I remember riding in a car with my buddy, and he had Slipknot on the radio. And I asked him, I was like, how can music get any heavier than that? Like at that time, how can anything sound, where does it go from here? How do you get heavier than that?
Yeah, Iowa.
Obviously, some bands have come along and proved me wrong, but at the time, I was just remembering, like, I don't, how does that sound like that?
Is that Dan from,
Who is that?
Dan's just trying to start trouble with the Toto. It was an argument we had with chat over Toto.
is that from Beating the Odds?
No, this was from the shows we did in the past. We had a little falling out over. I was trying to defend Toto to no avail. Everybody was fucking bagging on me. What about Green Day?
They were fun at Woodstock.
On Randall Island,
They're
man.
great.
Yeah.
They were fun at Woodstock.
They're a lot of fun.
Seems like they get abused a lot. Pearl Jam, another one.
I think some of these things that they're getting knocked on. I mean, I don't know what people knock on Green Day about. If it's because they started to get political or whatever, but or Pearl Jam, with the ticket thing that they had there years ago, and I think that kind of put a bad taste in some people's mouth. I don't know if that's where that generated from, but I like them both. I think they're both a lot of fun, and I think they put on great shows. They both put on great shows.
Well, I think as far as the Green Day thing goes, I think people are saying that, Green Day was saying that they're punk, and then they hit commercial success. It's like, oh, you're not punk anymore, blah, blah, blah. But
that's what happens.
It's punk. It's punk. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, Nirvana fans from the Bleach album didn't like Nirvana in
right.
In utero.
I'm not a fan of Nirvana, but I just remember that storyline. I mean, I'm not against them. I didn't care. I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever. But I read about and would see if you were a fan from Bleach, and when they hit it big, they're like, Nirvana's not cool anymore.
No, the band reaches a certain
they
point.
just got successful. That's all.
Any band that reaches a certain point where they can afford to make better albums and make better sound.
Right. That's what happens.
Especially Metallica took the worst shit in the world when they started sounding like a radio band because they had enough
Bob
money.
Ezrin.
Yeah, they had a Bob Ezrin. Did they have that when they were recording For Whom the Bell Tolls and other albums that,
Yeah, Kill 'Em All was really rough, man. And
raw.
Plus, you're working on all those songs for your first record. You're working on those songs for a couple of years, and they're getting all tight and everything. And now that record's going to be tight because you've been doing those songs for a few years. Now you got to go to your second one. You haven't been playing those songs as long. Now you got to come up with some stuff that sounds like the first one if you want to keep your fans, or like Metallica, you leave your fans behind. Whatever. It's just. But you're always tight to that first. The first album from bands are always because they've played those songs for a long time. I think.
right.
I think my favorite album Metallica wise was And Justice for All, and then I kind of lost interest in them after that.
I after And Justice, I liked everything up to that point, and then
That's exactly where I'm at.
They're fine. I appreciate them as musicians and what they've done. They're fantastic, but I checked out
The songwriting.
That was my last one, and because And Justice was different than anything else. They had done something different in the studio than anybody else would do. They kind of changed studio recording from what I understand of how the record was produced. And then after that, I just kind of, moved on. I didn't. I still go back to Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All. I mean, I can't get enough of them. I just love those. And I think, as Paul said, like part of that is there's a certain part of that that's just raw, and and that's what I think some of us really connect to when it's raw and it's like an exposed nerve. And when you go into the studio and you've got a great producer and you've got all this equipment to kind of polish things up a little bit,
Round off these edges a little.
yeah, you lose a little bit of that raw energy that you had before. And I think sometimes that takes people off.
Ace of base. Nice.
Holy shit! I got 2 more questions for you guys, and I'll let you go because I feel like I've taken up enough of your time already, and I've had a hell of a lot of fun with you guys. Do you guys have a certain album that takes you back to a certain time, like something that sticks out in your mind that
You better.
brings you back?
Supertramp, Breakfast in America.
Oh, really?
Oh, good one.
That is my absolute go-to. I could not be in a bad mood with that thing, and it just brings me back to my childhood.
Paul, what did you say? Did you
You said
say
you better.
Oh, you better.
Yeah, you better have something that brings you back, or what the hell good is the music? I mean, like I said, Supertramp was on the jukebox at this place out in Glenmont when you're 17 shooting pool, with all your friends. You got the fake ID, you're getting the beer, but Supertramp comes on the jukebox, and it's just a great song. They're just,
It
brings you right back. And every time you hear it, now I'm right back in that basement bar shooting stick.
Right. It definitely goes back to, it doesn't have to be your favorite band. It goes back to a memory and a time of your life. And I got multiple phases, as we all do, multiple phases of your life. And my first album that I can remember, and we literally had an air band that me, my sister, my brother, and two of my neighbors, we literally had paper towel freaking roll microphones. That was the Partridge Family album. I mean, but
it was me. There you go, Brian.
Yes.
I've got pictures of me being David Cassidy.
Exactly. And of course, I was David. Yeah, exactly. My sister was, whatever. So, but that's one memory and one thing that impacted me. Then Kiss came along.
Right.
I had no money. My sister was older. She would like babysit and she'd buy like 45. So I'd get to listen to fucking Helen Reddy and Best of Bread or whatever the fuck I had to listen to. No, Kiss is when my neighbor across the street, Larry Pascal, his sister's name was Beth. And when Beth came out, she bought the 45. You flip that 45 over, it was Detroit Rock City.
Right.
And me and my buddy Larry were like, what the fuck? Oh my God. So Kiss was
yeah. Then that Double Live album came out, and that was, that was it.
You know what?
Fanatic.
Kavanaugh, you stuck Larry being Danny Bonaducci, though, didn't you? You suck, bro. I know you did too. I know you did.
Brother, it's almost as if Larry Pascal was my best friend. And yes, he was the bass player.
I knew it.
It is. Oh man,
that was the first music you saw on TV, though. Growing up, I mean, that was the first thing that we were seeing in band was Partridge Family.
Donnie and Marie.
I was a kid, man. I couldn't buy my own music. I listened on Saturday mornings. We'd have to clean the house. We had chores, and my parents were into music. Their music and a console, stereo.
Yeah, a huge stereo, right?
And we would stack the records up. My mother loved show tunes and country. My father loved like Perry Como and fucking
Johnny Mathis,
whatever, and they'd be all weaved in, and that's what we had. That's what we listened to because we couldn't buy our own music. I didn't have any money.
I have a couple of them actually, and since you mentioned the first music, since you mentioned that first music that we heard on TV, that actually reminded me of really, really early. So I would say that one of my top favorite bands, probably in my youth, was Captain Cool and the Kongs.
Oh, wow.
All right. From Hanna-Barbera.
Nope.
No.
It was the fucking Osmonds. The Osmonds wrote all the music for that.
Yeah.
Dude, I had the Osmond Brothers double live album with Yo-Yo and Call Puppy Love. So
if you're a Saturday morning cartoon fan, that was like the first rock and roll I think I can remember visually seeing a Glam band. But I think as far as anything overall, anything that brings me back to actual memories of what I enjoyed, times that I enjoyed, would probably have to be Cheap Trick Live Budokan.
Oh my God.
What an album.
Every good thing that ever happened to me.
What an album. Yeah.
In some way or another, Cheap Trick at Budokan was like that lurking in the shadows, some song and somewhere.
Everywhere you went, it was in the background.
The first party, the first time I got laid, the first time I made out in a car, the first time I got run over by a car, all kinds of
first time I got run over. Yeah, out of that album, if you were to pick a song to do in a cover band that you thought would be a cool song to do, what would you do? Because me and Trash picked one when we did Personality Crisis, and we picked one from that, and it's not one you would think.
She's tight.
Big Eyes.
Off a bit.
Big Eyes. Okay.
Alpha Budokan.
Oh,
yeah.
Budokan. All right. All right. I'm on the wrong album. Oh shit, Richie! I forgot to introduce my boy, dude. Up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This is Judd, guys. That's jumping up. That's jumping up dick guy. Jumping up dick dude. I'm sorry. His name is Judd. I forgot to put him up. All show, I forgot to put him up. Holy shit. What the fuck's the matter with me?
Dude's hung pretty good for a stick man.
You know what? He's not bad, bro. He's not bad.
I hear that all the time.
Wake up! Wake up!
Stick man.
All right, Buzz, I'm going to stare at that for the rest of the show if you leave it there.
I'll get rid of just for you. I'll get rid of him, my man.
I'm actually feeling a little aroused right now.
Well, you know what? As well, you should be.
You
So,
know what? You should get Rich. I don't know if you created that, but if you did, give Rich the original, and he'll put in some bouncing balls on the bottom too.
I did not, but Rich actually said that he could put a head banging, or he could put my head on it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to see who we can pick here. Let's see. Oh, I don't have my nutshot guy.
Put a long ponytail on it and just call it Rich.
Now let's give Nipperton a little props. There we go. Yeah, I think album wise for me, I got two of them. Van Halen's 5150 album. Like you said, Rich, everything cool that fucking happened to me was near that album, which was that's all I used to listen to was that album. And Ozzy's Diary of a Madman.
Oh, I love that album. Nice. I like that one better than Blizzard of Oz. I do.
Yep. If I look back at it, Diary of a Madman was like my sister and I had like one boombox with the fucking. She got the one with the CD player in it because she was always the favorite. But that CD went in there. That cassettes you have to keep fucking rewinding them and shit like that. Fast forward and whatever it goes with. Yeah. Those two probably for me would be.
Yeah, you reminded me with the boombox thing, man. It was one summer heading out to the highway by Judas Priest. It was like the only cassette I owned. And I had a GE General Electric boombox, and me and my buddy went on vacation with his friend, Brian Can. You know Brian. Yeah. And we listened to that cassette over and over and over. The whole week we're there. That's the only one we brought because we didn't really have anything. And we listened to that goddamn cassette every day, man, heading out to the highway.
That's awesome. All right, one more question, guys, and I'm going to kick you guys out of here because I love you, but I'm starting to get tired. Fat guys get tired quick. So
I only brought 6 beers, so this is my 6th one, so I'm all done. Anyway.
Look at the timing. It's impeccable. Okay, the first album that you ever remember buying, and I mean you used your own money to buy it. What was it?
I couldn't get Horse with No Name as a 45, so I had to buy America, their whole record, to get Horse with No Name.
Nice.
I went to Woolworths and I bought the record, America record, so I could get Horse with No Name.
Did you sit down and have lunch at the luncheonette too?
I did not.
Damn.
I went to Carl Company. I took the bus to Carl Company to buy a Walkman and Whitesnake. And I listened to my job. I was 14. My job at the time was I was a paper boy. So I took my money from that. I bought myself a Walkman. I bought myself that cassette, and I listened to it every morning when I delivered the papers.
Mine's bad. No, the album's good.
Come on, let me hear it.
It just wasn't an album. I bought the 8-track. Kiss Rock and Roll Over in 8-track.
Wow.
Dude, I fucking hated those 8-tracks, man. It was a song I liked where the track had to change. It would fade out, go click, and then fade back in.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say the 8-track was like Jim Croce or something. So you're like, dude.
No, it's Kiss Rock and Roll Over.
If I hear Frampton Comes Alive and there's not that click in between going from track 3 to track 4.
It's funny, right?
It sounds weird. It sounds weird.
Oh, no shit. That's awesome.
It's funny how your brain knows that's coming up.
Yep.
And even if you're listening to it in the CD, you're still going to hear that click. It's
I'm waiting for the click over.
Yeah.
What about you, Rich?
I think it was two at one time.
Big spender. Woo.
Yeah, somehow
He was whoring back then.
I was selling it a little. Brain Salad Surgery by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and I think I bought Boston at the same time.
Oh, nice.
That
Wow.
first album was
Bad
a hell of a
choices,
first
man.
album.
Wow.
Boston album I ever
Ridiculous.
would have bought or
I
listened to.
tell you, that's funny because we talked about it earlier about just guitar, that change, and not that the guys that made it, but boy, oh boy, that album came out. And I remember hearing the sonic fucking production of that album of that time. My sister actually had that album. That's how I got to hear it.
Oh, it was
My sister's
ridiculous.
older than I am, man. And I remember hearing that going, holy fuck. And that guy's voice, Brad Delp, forget it, man.
Oh,
And plus, yeah, and Tommy Stalls has made a fortune in electronics too. So
Yeah.
Oh my God. I still
Great.
have my Schultz, Tom Schultz, Rockman X100.
I got the soloist.
Yeah, I have the X100 and I still have it hooked up to my computer. And when I have to learn a song, I have the computer coming into the Rockman as well as my bass and headphones, and that's how I learn the song. Yeah, that X100 is great, man. It's real good.
Nice.
My first album, I was in 6th or 7th grade, I think.
Nice. Hey, man.
Guys, my first album that I bought was Judas Priest, "Screaming for Vengeance."
All right.
all right.
Great tour, too.
Righteous album, dude. Fucking awesome. Yeah, it was. I think it was a cassette, as a matter of fact. Maybe. Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, Civic Center, man. They come right out. They open up with Hellion Electric Eye. This is after Iron Maiden on their first tour with help me here. Number of the Beast.
Okay.
Yep.
Number of Beast album, first tour with a new singer, and they opened up for Judas Priest at Glens Falls Civic Center, and it was crazy awesome, man. And to see him come out from the Marshalls up here in space, I'm looking down on you. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. What a great show, man. Iron Maiden and Judas Priest.
Damn, I miss shows. That makes me miss them even more.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, be here next Sunday. If you,
Dude, I think I'm going to be there this Sunday, next Sunday, every other day probably to do that. But what he's referring to is Sunday, November 1st, guys, 12 to 8 p.m. The No Place Like Chrome telethon is on. You guys got to tune into this. It's a full 8 hours of fun. Make sure you guys join in on that. Music, testimonials. There's going to be talking, hijinks, prizes, raffles, the whole 9 yards. Some super famous people are going to chime in and be involved. Something you're not going to want to miss. It's going to be broadcast all over God's creation, mostly on Facebook. It's going to be on Chrome's page. Again, we went through this before. It's going to be on. Just look for it. It'll be out there. You definitely will not want to miss this, guys. Boys, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging in there and enduring my bullshit for 2 hours. It's definitely appreciated. I had a lot of fun with you guys, and appreciate each and every one of you boys.
Hey, this is great.
Yeah. Had a
I'm
good
looking
time.
forward to the first is going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. Hopefully you guys, come back and do it again soon. You're welcome anytime.
Excellent.
Cool.
Richie, I got to talk to you in the next day or so.
you want me to give you a call right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. After we're off the air, I'll give you a buzz.
Yeah, do that.
You just
Thanks.
ruined Fuzzy's sign off, man.
Buzz, you want to start that all over again?
Well, no, because you guys are going to go and I'm going to talk to chat for a couple of minutes and get my plugs in, and then I'm out too. So,
All right, man.
All right, peace.
so I will
All right.
see you guys on the flip. Thank you guys again so much for showing up, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, cool.
How was that for a full show, huh? Guys, that was awesome. Appreciate all those guys coming in. Joe from Murderers Row, Paul, of course, from China White, Rich from Uncivil Liberty, and, of course, he's guitarist extraordinaire. My man Carl, definitely a rock and metal enthusiast. And, of course, Bo Hefner. Make sure you guys tune in 11 p.m. tonight on Bo's channel. That's On Call with Bo Hefner. I keep thinking of you, Hefner. On Call with Bo Hefner, 11 p.m. tonight. He's got some great stuff lined up for you guys. Make sure you go check him out. I'm going to get to my plugs and get the hell out of here because frankly, I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing my voice. So we'll do that. So we'll get to our plugs now. We'll talk about friends of the show. Of course, we got to start out with none other than Nippertown. Jim and the folks over there. Everything 518. You're talking not only music, but you're talking restaurants. You're talking, entertainment, everything 518 you're going to find on nippertown.com. You can also look for them on Facebook, Insta, and Twitter at Nippertown. Myron Lawson, and yes, for all you new people, I say his name wrong on purpose. He knows it. He loves it. What can I say about this guy? My go-to resident artist. The dude's amazing. He does a lot of custom artwork. You got something drawn? You got something you need drawn? Send him your idea. He will definitely bring your ideas to life. Super reasonably priced and wicked fast on the turnaround. Myron's just the best. He's got his own line of comic books out there: Blood Red, Tales of the In-Between, The Tilt, Pearl of Wisdom. Some of the newest ones are 009, A Sniper, and Vixen of Vengeance, the Lolo Montez book. Both of those books are signed by not only Myron, but the people that they focus on, which would be Christopher James and Lola Montez. Lola actually signed hers and then kissed her signature. I was there. I witnessed it. It was amazing. You can pick them up for it'd be on MyronLawson.com or his Facebook page, Myron Lawson. Facebook and Insta also Psycho Fire Productions. That's Psycho FYRE Productions, I believe. You can also pick up 009 The Sniper at Christopher James Antiques and Collectibles. That's 260 Main Street in Lee, Mass. You can find Chris on Facebook and Instagram. He also has an eBay store. Check them out. They're definitely worth the drive. They're only like 45, 50 minutes away from here. And Chris got a lot of cool stuff in there. Tell him that Fuzzy said hello. Notice Skulls, our friend Jess. Jess, I seen you come in late, and I didn't get a chance to say hi to you, but hi and I guess bye. Jess has her page is Notice Skulls on Facebook. It's custom jewelry. There's minerals. There's why can't I think of it now, Jess? There's the stones there, the stones. You guys know what I'm talking about. Crystals. Got it. I knew I'd get it eventually. Go check her out. Show her some love. Notice Skulls on Facebook. Acoustic is my twin nephews, as a matter of fact. You can find Acoustic on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music. If you guys are looking for an acoustic acoustic duo, playing all your favorites and a lot of original music as well. To book them, you can go to social media pages, find them under Acoustic, ACOUSTIK. Ask for Kyle and Cody. They will help you out for sure. Lola Montez, I just talked about her in the books with Byron there. You can find her at OnlyFans. It's Lola Montez 1821. Suicide Girls, just search Lola Montez and you will find her there. Definitely worth going and checking her out for sure. What else we got? Our friend Dan and his page, Heavy Metal: The Way of Life. Go check out Dan. He's definitely a huge supporter of the show, and definitely got some cool pages out there. Which one, Chris? Notice Skulls is NAUTISKULLS. Notice Skulls. Acoustic is ACOUSTIK. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. So, so go check out Dan over there. Nick Tomas is giving guitar lessons. If you guys are interested in that, you can look for Nick Tomas on Facebook and Instagram. Also, nickstomas27@gmail.com. Yes, sir, Chris, absolutely. And it was good seeing you, by the way. Thank you for stopping by tonight. And we have Left Hand Creations. That is Jim Wortman. Again, back here is now known as the Wortman Wall. This over here is the metal corner. These two are Myron's work right now. Soon you're going to see Jim's prints up there. Jim takes amazing pictures and does really good work with his post on them. He makes these pictures look absolutely amazing. What we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of prints that Jim's going to give to us. We're going to raffle them off, I guess would be the word. You buy a couple spaces or a space, and then we'll wind up raffling them off. And then when they're raffled off, we'll get a couple more. So you guys can go check out Jim's work on his Facebook page. That would be Jim Wortman on Facebook. And Jim also sells these prints, guys. So if you see your band up there, or you see one that you guys just can't live without, just send him a message. Jim's a really nice guy, real cool to work with. Or you can go to lefthandcreations666.com. That's lefthandcreations, the number 666.com. You can go check them out. And as we end the show every time with our most favorite I don't even want to say sponsor because we're not sponsored, but our most favorite plug, that would be Darla and Dave over at Chrome. Darla, one of my absolute favorite people in the world. We're pulling for you. We're all going to tune into this lovely telethon that hopefully will bring Chrome out of the ashes and make it thrive again. We want to take that for sale sign and in the parking lot just burn it. And that's the ultimate goal. We want to take Chrome off the market and get it back on its feet again. The telethon is I believe we're calling it the No Place Like Home telethon, or the telethon to save Chrome, or whatever it is. It's a telethon, Sunday, November 1st, 12 to 8 p.m. This thing is on. It's going to be lit. You guys are going to not want to miss this. It's 8 full hours of fun. You're going to see music, testimonials, talking, a lot of hijinks, prizes and raffles, and there's going to be some pretty super famous people involved in this thing. So something you're definitely not going to want to miss. It's going to be broadcast on Chrome's page. It's also going to be on several pages. I know any page that I'm involved in, there's No Place Like Chrome telethon. Thank you, I appreciate that. That is the No Place Like Home. I've been talking too much. There's No Place Like Chrome telethon. Again, Sunday, November 1st, 12 to 8. I'm going to have it on. I'm going to share it on that Fuzzin' 518 shows page. I'm also going to share it on the 518 live concerts page. I will share it on my personal page, and I'm sure it's going to be shared thousands of other places. Guys, if you guys can donate. If not, share this thing. Share the telethon. The further it gets out, the more successful it's going to be, and that's the key to it all, is just being successful, raising a lot of money to help Chrome get back on their feet again. Definitely do not miss this. Guys, I am out of here. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done, chat. You've been nothing but fucking amazing tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will be back on again next Friday night, next Friday night. Same time, 7 to 9 p.m. And who knows what next week will bring. But again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys again next Friday. And guys, be safe out there. Make sure you tune into that Chrome telethon Sunday, November 1st. Dan, if you're ready to go to the diner, bro, I'm down, dude. I'm starving right now. So if you're serious about that, I'm down, bro. We'll go. All right, guys, I'm out. Dan, call me for the diner. Rob, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I'll see you guys again next Friday. Good night.